What's going on there, YouTube? Welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we're going to continue our coverage over the X-Men, but now we have to jump over to some Sabretooth. Let me explain. You see, in 1993, Marvel gave Sabretooth his own solo series. Now, for me, this was a great idea. And let me explain why. You see, in the early 1990s, you had this writer known as Larry Hama come out and give us some more details about the actual origin of Wolverine. Now, we didn't get the complete origin for the character, but we did get a lot of information about Wolverine thanks to Larry Hama. But he also made sure to give us some details of the origins of other characters who are also connected to Logan, like Silver Fox, Maverick, and also, well, Sabretooth. And so in 1993, they gave Sabretooth his own solo series to allow us, the readers, to actually dive deeper into the origin of Sabretooth, but also his connection to Mystique. Now, the opening pages of this solo series, we actually pick up with Sabretooth coming back home to his mansion in Wisconsin. Now, once he does arrive there, that is the moment where he is confronted by a group of members of the Hand. Now, the reason why the Hand is after him because, well, he had killed off one of their leaders. And so right now for the Hand, they're kind of very upset about the fact that their leader is actually dead. And so their main goal is to get revenge. Now, we do learn very quickly here that when it comes to the home of Sabretooth, he made sure that his home was well protected by installing all different kinds of security. But also, he left somebody behind to watch over the place. And that'll be the character known as Birdie. Now, here in a moment, we'll talk more about that character Birdie, but you do have Birdie and Sabretooth being able to work together to get rid of this group of the Hand and then go inside to actually relax. Now, let's have a quick conversation about Birdie because I feel a tad bit bad for Birdie, but for Birdie, she is a psychic like Charles Xavier, Psylocke, Jean Grey, and the list goes on. But for Birdie, the reason why she is here is to ease the mind of Sabretooth. Let me explain. You see, for Sabretooth and Wolverine and recent story arcs that we had actually covered, Sabretooth was able to remember certain things from his past, especially when it comes to his childhood. The whole idea that his father used to hate him, especially when his powers began to manifest. And he looked like, well, a different person, the fangs, the claws. And so his father hated him with a lot of passion back then. And so for Birdie, she's kind of there to go into his mind, to ease his mind, to kind of keep him calm and relaxed. Now, once she does that, Sabretooth literally knocks her out, kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm done with you. Thanks for your help, but now it's time for me to go to bed. And so it kind of shows that she's kind of like his slave in a way, but at the same time, he knows he needs her because she eased his mind. Now, later on that night, we actually pick back up with Birdie again. Now, we see Birdie going over to the computer system and kind of runs all the different kinds of security system that, well, Sabretooth has for his mansion. But you didn't have her turn off every single one of them. And then a bunch of guys just walk into his actual mansion. Now, this is the moment we learn that Birdie had apparently betrayed Sabretooth, that somebody hired her to actually turn off all the different kinds of security he has in that mansion to allow this group of guys to just walk into his mansion. Now, for Sabretooth, he's still an actual challenge. He's not somebody to take down so easily, but they brought enough equipment, enough guys to be able to actually take him down. They gas him so much that he knocks out just like that, and he is taken away. Now, for Sabretooth, he knows that sooner or later, once he's able to recover, he is going to want revenge against Birdie for basically betraying him. Now, we do get a page where we're actually able to jump back in time to kind of continue to learn more about the childhood of Sabretooth, where again, his father hated him so much, especially when his powers begin to come in. the fangs, the claws. And so to his father, it seemed like he hated Sabretooth because he believed he was some kind of demon. And he was trying to remove the teeth and claws of Sabretooth when he was a young boy. Now, the ending for the first chapter is where we see Sabretooth wake up and he's being restrained on some kind of metal table, but we do learn that he went through some kind of surgery to get some kind of upgrades to make him a tad bit stronger. Now, he is confronted by a character known as Tribune. Now, Tribune is going to be very important when it comes to Mystique and also Sabretooth, but we do learn that Tribune had kidnapped Sabretooth to use him to hunt down Mystique, that this guy wants her dead. Now, he does not tell Sabretooth why, but he says, listen, you have been made stronger so that you'll be able to actually take her down. Now, for Sabretooth, it's more like, listen, as soon as you release me, I'm going to kill you and just go on with my day. But they say, no, you have 48 hours to hunt her down and kill her, because if you don't, boom, you will explode. And so technically you have no choice here but to go ahead and do the job for me. And so he says yes, but he says, after I kill off Mystique, I'm coming after you. And so then we are able to dive into Sabretooth issue number 2. Now, when we do, it's really more Sabretooth just going back to his mansion. The reason why? To get revenge against Birdie for basically betraying him, to allowing those guys into his mansion to kidnap him and to force him into some work. And so the first 6 or maybe 7 pages is really more her just trying to get away and him just trying to chase her down, but also get some answers of why in the world did she betray him for. Now, I could say listen, she hated the idea of just being used to ease his mind and then get punched and kicked around would be enough for me. But apparently it's the whole idea that the Tribune gave her a lot of money to kind of portray Sabretooth, and there was no way she would be able to actually turn down that offer. Now, once he's able to catch up to her, and it does seem like, hey, he's going to kill her off, that is when she used her powers to enter his mind once again. And when she does go into his mind, she begins to learn what exactly happened to him once he was taken away by those guys earlier over to the Tribune, where she learned that they gave him some upgrades, but also said, hey, listen, you got to hunt down Mystique. If you don't, you'll die in 48 hours. Now, once she does use her powers on his mind, once again, she's able to calm him down, relax his mind. And so when she does that, he changes his mind when it comes to killing her. And so now the two of them are going to work together to hunt down Mystique, but to also take care of the Tribune later on. Now, for the Tribune, we do learn very quickly here that he does have a lot of hatred towards the mutant race, but especially towards Mystique and also Sabretooth. Now, we're going to learn why later on, but for Tribune, he does ask his assistant to make sure there's no way that none of this can get back to him. He wants to make sure that Mystique does die, but so will Sabretooth. But also the fact that anybody else who's also connected to him will not be able to get back to him as well to kill him off. Now, getting back over to Birdie and also Sabretooth, we get to the point where we're now actually seeing the two characters working together to hunt down Mystique. Now, they have to go over to Paris, but we do see Sabretooth tell us, the readers, but also Birdie, that for right now, she'll get to live, but only because he needs her help to track down Mystique. Once he's able to kill off Mystique, then most likely he'll kill her off, Birdie. But either way, you do have the two characters arrive in Paris, where you do have Sabretooth begin to hunt down Mystique. Now, he's able to find her, and that begins the whole chase scene. Now, for Mystique, she recognized Sabretooth. She knows him very well. This begins the big secret between these two characters. Now, for Sabretooth, for him, this is the first time he's actually meeting her. But she says, no, this is not the first time that we are meeting. Now, like I said, she tries to get away from him. She even tries to change her forms to hopefully throw him off. But the thing is, he's just like Wolverine. once he has your scent, he cannot lose you at all. And so he is able to continue to chase her down. But like I said, for Mystique, this is not their first time meeting. For him, it is. For her, it's not. It really shows when you have both characters get on a train. And the reason why, because you have her change into his mother. Now, that's kind of huge because kind of like, how does she know what his mother looks like? Like, how would she know that? And it kind of shows she knows him very well from something happening in the past between these two characters. But once he sees his mom, he goes back in time in his mind where he remembers another time where his dad was basically coming after him because the way he looked once the claws and fangs came in, and his mom was trying her best to defend him. Either way, once he's able to come back into reality, he continues to chase down Mystique. And so you have Sabretooth being able to actually corner her. Now, when he does, it's actually on top of the Eiffel Tower. Now, for Mystique, it's more of, listen, I know you want to kill me, but before you actually do kill me, let's sit down and try to have a conversation with one another. It's basically her saying, let me tell you what's our connection. What was our past like with one another? But I want to tell you that before you came here, I had actually planned a date tonight with somebody else, somebody you know very well, somebody where you and him both had entered this super secret program. And of course, she's talking about Weapon X, but she's also talking about Wolverine, who had appeared for a date tonight with Mystique. And so it seems like issue number 3 is more of Sabretooth fighting against Wolverine. And so as we get into issue number 3, we actually pick up with Wolverine and Sabretooth actually fighting against one another. Now, when it comes to their battle, it is actually stopped by, well, Mystique taking on a new form, a form of a woman known as Lenny. Now, we learn very quickly here that Lenny was a woman that was very close to to Sabretooth. Now, for Sabretooth, he's kind of wondering, hey, why in the world did you take that form? Is this some kind of trick? But you have Mystique say, no, I was that woman you met a long time ago, that woman you loved a long time ago. Now you have Birdie being able to use her powers to calm down Wolverine. You have all 4 of them go into the restaurant to actually sit down and talk about the idea of, was Mystique actually Lenny in the past, and how close with her and Sabretooth were in the past. Now, once you have all 4 characters actually being able to sit down, you didn't have Mystique explain everything to us, the readers, but also to Sabretooth and Wolverine. What she says here is that apparently in the past, she was actually an agent just like Sabretooth was. Now, he was part of Team X, but she tells us that this takes place right before you had Wolverine and the others, including Sabretooth, being taken away by Weapon X. Now, when it came to Sabretooth, he went on a mission to Berlin to save an agent, a woman known as Lenny. Now, he had no idea that Lenny was actually Mystique. And so, once he was able to actually save her and get her back to a safe house nearby, you have the 2 characters being able to build a relationship with one another, to the point where they had a lot of fun time in the bedroom, which of course led to her getting pregnant. Now for Sabretooth, he's kind of like, this makes no sense at all. I still believe that this is some major trick. And the reason why he believes that, because he tells us, the readers, that when it came to Lenny, she went on a mission. But then he got word that the mission that she was going on was going to be a setup. And his goal was to warn her. But unfortunately, he was too late. When he got back to the home base, they showed him the dead body of Lenny to show that she is officially dead. And so for him, he believed that she had officially died, which means to him, he believes this is some kind of crazy trick. But you did Mystique say, no, I took the form of another woman who was named Lenny. The body you saw, that was her. I was not there. You slept with me, but you only saw her dead body. I was still out there. And so for Sabretooth, he's kind of like, what in the world is going on? But he's wondering, why would the Tribune want you dead. Why would they send me after you? And that leads into the big, huge, surprising moment. She tells Sabretooth that the person that's trying to come after her and him is their son. That Tribune is actually, well, their son. And so he can't believe the whole idea that he actually has a son out there who's now trying to kill him. Now, for Sabretooth, he wants to know, is their son a mutant? And Mystique says no. He is a regular human being. Now, with all that being said, you didn't have Birdie go ahead, try to use a grenade to kind of kill off Wolverine or to slow him down, because for Wolverine, he got tired of hearing this whole entire story. And so with the grenade being out there, you have Sabretooth grab Birdie and they get the heck out of there, where you have Wolverine being able to take proper care of the grenade. Now, with Sabretooth and Birdie gone, it leads into a conversation between Mystique and also Wolverine, where he realized that she was telling the truth. The whole idea that her and Sabretooth, they actually have a son with one another. And he walks away by saying, you know what? I know one thing for sure. I don't like you. Now, you have Sabretooth and Birdie heading back over to America to hopefully find Tribune. But here's the problem, though. You see, when they had kidnapped Sabretooth, they made sure that he was knocked out. And when they had dropped him off, again, they made sure that he was knocked out. And so for him, he does not remember where exactly the base of Tribune is actually yet. But you have Birdie say, let me go into your mind and once again replay your entire time with Tribune to see if you are able to see any kind of clues in the office building that you were in. And so once she does go into his mind, he's able to realize that he saw a plaque on the wall that had the name of a company called the GC Group. And that tells him where to begin to look for this actual company. Because once he's able to find their office, then he'll find Tribune and he'll be able to get his revenge. And so you have Sabretooth and also Birdie head back over to America to find Tribune and his company, which they were able to find the office building. Now here's the catch though. You see, as soon as our heroes arrive at the office building, they are confronted by another group of members of the Hand. Now, the Hand is not working for Tribune. They're just here to still get revenge against Sabretooth for killing off their leaders. And honestly, this is a minor moment. It's not really important. It's just being used as a way to show us how strong and powerful Sabretooth truly is, especially now thanks to his upgrades he got from Tribune. But once he's able to actually deal with them, now, when it comes to Sabretooth, once he's able to actually take care of the Hand, you then have him and Birdie begin to scale the outside part of the building, the office building that is owned by Tribune and his company. Now, I kind of want to sit down and have a quick conversation about Tribune, the son of Sabretooth, because we have already officially talked about this character before in our other X-Men videos. Let me explain. You see, when it comes to Tribune, his real name is Graydon Creed, and he is actually the leader of, well, the Friends of Humanity, but he's also part of the Upstart program. Now, this storyline does take place before everything else we have covered so far when it comes to everything happening after the Executioner song leading into Fatal Attractions. But either way, when it comes to Sabretooth, he is able to meet his son finally. And when he does, he throws his son out the window thinking that he had officially killed him. Now, we have to remember that there is a bomb placed inside the body of Sabretooth. And so you have Sabretooth grab the doctor who had technically place the bomb inside of him and say, listen, you are now going to operate on me right here at this moment to get the bomb out of me. Now, for the doctor, he's very surprised in what he's hearing, but you have Sabretooth say, you don't have a choice here. If you don't, well, the bomb is going to explode and you're going to die with me. And so you have Birdie holding off the rest of the guys who work for Tribune while you have the doctor being able to get the bomb out of him, and then Sabretooth throws the bomb out the window before it had officially exploded. Now, when it comes to Tribune, Graydon Creed. You see, you have Tribune being able to climb back into the building. Now, when he does, that's the moment where you have Birdie being able to take her mind and also the mind of Sabretooth to dive into the mind of Tribune to learn his actual origin. And we do learn that, yes, he is the son of Mystique and Sabretooth, but we also learn why he's doing this for. You see, when it came to Mystique, when she had him, she realized that he was going to be a regular human, and she hated that with a passion. But also, she hated the idea that he was, well, a big crybaby. And so she got tired of that as well. Now, at first, the first few years, she tried to raise him, but she always sent him away to different boarding schools around the world. Now, one day he had discovered her actual origin, that she is a mutant, because at first he believed that his mom was just a regular lady named Lenny. But in reality, her name was Mystique, and she had blue skin. Now, over the years, she had also lied to him about who his father was, Sabretooth. But then he learned the actual truth. And so once he learned the fact that he was not going to be a mutant, his mom lied to him. His dad is a very, very evil person. And also that, well, he'll never get powers. He hated the idea of mutants at that point in his life. And so he grew up, he completely changed. But his main goal was to get rid of all mutants, but especially his mother and his father. Now, the book kind of ends on the note where you actually have Graydon Creed being able to kill off Birdie. Now, that's a huge problem because for Birdie, she was around to ease the mind of Sabretooth. That man has gone through so much over the years that he needs her around to ease his mind, to calm him down. And now she's gone. And so for Graydon, he's kind of like, no, I did that on purpose because now you don't have her in your corner to ease your mind, to calm you down. Now you're going to be this person who's always hurting, always in pain, always crying out for help. I found a way to hurt you, even though I didn't kill you. And the book kind of ends with Sabretooth just walking away, but letting Graydon Creed stay alive. And he just walks off. And the thing is, we're not going to see Sabretooth until X-Men Unlimited issue number 3. But this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.